Hey everybody, and welcome to another 1989batman.com merchandise spotlight. This spotlight's a little different than the other ones, since it's just a cape. I didn't think it made sense to take it over to the couch to do a full-on review, and instead just stay over here. That way you can get a really good view of this, since it's, something you really need to get the details on, as opposed to something we really need to talk about and share memories about or whatever. Today we're taking a look at the Tony Mai custom NECA quarter scale 1989 Batman cape. This is made for, obviously, your NECA quarter scale 1989 Batman figure. Now I want to preface this whole thing with saying that I think that this figure is fantastic, even right out of the box. The cape is the only thing I had some minor gripes about, really, if you watched our review of it. The cape is nice for what it is, and it does a great, wings out scene and things like that. And again, it's a mass market figure for under $100. So to expect, Inner Bay quarter scale or Hot Toys quarter scale or something like that, quality from a piece that's that affordable is crazy. That would be crazy to expect that. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind elevating this, what I thought at the time, I wouldn't mind elevating this figure a bit with a nicer cape, because I think that would really, take it to the next level and make it so that it can display right next to all those other figures and not look out of place if I'd had those other figures. But I don't, because I only love 89 Batman. So, Tony Mai, who makes great custom capes and suits and things like that in the 1/6 scale and in the quarter scale, I was really hoping that he would come out with one of these capes for this NECA quarter scale figure. And I kind of followed him at the Sideshow Freaks board, and he posted a picture that he was doing this, and I emailed him immediately and said, look, I really want to get one of those capes, and I'm also thinking about getting the updated DX09 capes, which we'd already done a review of Tony's DX09 custom cape, and we're going to do an update of that review soon with his two new capes that he's doing. Long story short, so not really so short. So I ordered this cape up, and I've got it now, and I figured I'd post this video for you guys so you can get a good look at it and see just how much it elevates this NECA figure. It's a really fantastic cape. He found this great material that really goes a long way towards capturing the look from the film. The length of the cape is great. It goes all the way down. That was one of the complaints I was seeing about the NECA cape, was its length. Well, that has been solved here. It goes almost all the way to the point where the tips are touching the floor, I guess you would call it. Cape lays really well, both from behind and from the front, as you can see. It's really easy to get it on there. You just basically, I don't want to do it here because I'm going to end up knocking over my lights or the figure or whatever. You just pull up on this, kind of give it a wiggle, and it pops. And the other cape is just sitting over the neck with a piece of Velcro. It just lifts off, and you put this other cape on top. There's really minor, modifications to get this cape on. You just pop that off, put it on, pop it back on, and then do your best to kind of line up these seams with the points of the cowl. I'll tell you more about this as we compare the two, but the material is constructed so that you get the seams in between each panel. The front panel on the inside reflects the material of replicates the material of the outside. And overall, it's just a really, really nice cape. I'll say this again at the end, but if you want to contact Tony about getting one made for you, his email will be along the info section at the bottom of this video. But in case you don't look at that, it is dandymey@gmail.com. That's DANDYMEY@gmail.com. So let's take a look at them side by side, and then we'll take another look at Batman at the end. Alright, so here we have a look at the two capes side by side on the figures. Blaze was nice enough to let me borrow his NECA 18-inch Batman so you could see them both side by side, which I think is a better way of telling the differences in the capes rather than showing you one and then showing another. So we have the stock cape over here on your left. As you can see, the length is quite different between the two. I'm doing my best to get it all into camera frame here, but these are giant figures. The Tony Mai cape comes all the way, and the tip is almost touching the ground or the floor or whatever, whereas the NECA cape is a little bit on the shorter side, and I'm sure this has to do with him doing the wing spread scene with this cape, so that's probably why they had to go a little bit shorter on it instead of a really lengthy cape to be able to still pull that off. I don't know for sure, but I'm just guessing that's why they went with a shorter look. Now both of these capes are just put on without any kind of tweaking or futzing around with them to make them look a certain way. I just put the capes on them, stuck them on these stands, and put them in front of the camera. That way the comparison's as fair as possible. The material used on the NECA version, it's kind of close to the Hot Toys, stock cape. It's not the best material, but at the same time, it's nowhere near what I would call bad. Like I said in the review, I don't think this cape is a bad cape. I just think that this is a better cape overall, but of course the time and the effort and the materials and everything that went into Tony making this are a labor of love, and this is a mass market figure, and by no means this is a bad mass market figure. So inside the NECA cape, we've got the interior panel, the first panel being the outside material, and then the interior being that sort of satiny material, just like the film. And Tony's cape does the same thing, where he replicates his exterior material on the first panel, and then the inside panels after that are a bit different. The material on the Tony cape has this nice kind of like bat skin, leathery type feel to it. It's got like a look that's like a crackly texture almost, as if it had like veininess to it, which they did do on the film cape. They talked about how they wanted to work sort of a bat skin texture into the outside of the cape. And the material that Tony has going for him here is a lot closer, I think, to that look than the NECA cape pulled off. Turn him around here so you can see what the backs look like as it drapes. I'm going to do my best not to knock these guys over. So there you have how the drape looks. The NECA billows out a bit, whereas the Tony My cape lays pretty close to the body there. It's a nicer fit overall than the NECA version. He's fallen off his stand. Sorry. Stay. There we go. Let's get this guy back around too. So the advantage of the NECA cape is that you can do that wingspan out thing from the opening sequence of the film because it has those holes there. The Tony cape cannot do that. It's not made that way. This front panel here being sewn together into two pieces prevents you from having that hole there to do the wing spread thing as well as this seam and the NECA one does. So if you're wanting to do the wing spread scene, the stock cape is the way to go. But if you're wanting a Batman that's just standing there and has the cape draped down to his body, the Tony cape is the way to go. The other look that Batman has is when the cape is flipped over the shoulders. So instead of knocking these things over, trying to do this with the camera on, I'm just going to do it real quick and show it to you. So here we have the flipped over the shoulders look. Now this is a look that Batman had in a lot of the publicity stills and the posters and cards and things like that from the 1989 film, where he's taken his cape and he's flipped it up over the shoulders. I've seen it done two different ways too, where the fold is in the front and they just took the panels and folded it back, or where this is actually the outside seam of the cape and it's kind of folded and laid over the shoulders. I did the folded and laid where the fold is actually here on both of these. As you can see, the Tony cape lies a bit flatter to the body. A little bit more work. I could probably get this one to lay a little bit closer as well. But that's what you get when you do the flip over with the Tony cape. This is what you get when you get the flip over with the NECA cape. As you can see, we're also seeing a lot of the length issues when we have this look, because there's nothing covering up the front. So you can see how it kind of pulls up a bit in the back on the NECA cape, and on Tony's cape we're getting a lot of length down there. Let's get this. Let's see if I can turn these guys around without knocking them down. Okay, come on, Tony. There we go. There you go. There's the differences between the two. Let's get this. You know what? I'm going to turn off the camera again. We're going to take one more look at the Tony cape by itself so you can get kind of an idea of how it moves. Actually, before we take a look at Batman, another full body shot of him, I wanted to get kind of a closer look at this material that Tony used. Just so in case you don't want to go hit the info section and look at still pictures of anything. It's got this really nice crackled texture, and I know I keep saying that over and over again. And I'm sorry if you're hearing my heat go off in the background. It's just got this really nice texture to it, and I wanted to highlight that in the video. But now let's pull back and we'll take a full look at Batman again. Alright, so we got Batman all alone again, off his stand. I've kind of put the arms out so you can get a little more feel of how you know, the cape can look when it's really kind of spread out like that. And I tell you, I was taking pictures of this thing, and I had it turned around from behind. And there were some good old photographs, like Urbritz's photographs, and there's I think a Rolling Stone cover. There's a shot of Batman from behind. This thing from behind, this NECA figure with the addition of the Tony Mai cape with the cape down, it's almost tough to tell it's a figure when you get it out of scale and you just take a picture of it by itself. I think the quality of the work, both from NECA on the figure and from Tony on the cape, just make a really astounding piece. Sideshow has just debuted, or not debuted, a picture is leaked of their quarter scale, and I think it looks great. I think the base is awesome, but that's going to be a really expensive figure. If you don't want to go quite that high and you want something really big and nice on your shelf, buying this NECA and upgrading it with the Tony Mai cape is a great way to go. As you can see, the cape has a lot of nice movement to it. The way the light catches it is really, really nice. It's not reflective, it just kind of absorbs some of the light, but brings out the detailing. I think it's a fantastic cape, and it elevates a already great figure to the next level. I can't recommend this thing enough. Again, if you want to contact Tony about getting your own cape like this, you just email him at dandymai@gmail.com, DANDYMEI@gmail.com. It'll be in the info section if you want to get, you know, if you don't want to write it down as you're listening to me. You can also hit the info section to take out a few still pictures of this, like comparison shots and a couple of just action-y type of shots and things like that. But I think that takes care of that. Stay tuned, because we'll be doing, like I said, an update on the DX09 custom capes from Tony. That'll probably go up in the next weekend or so, and we'll take a look at both the 1.0 slash 2.0, his deluxe battle cape, and then what is now called the final version of the DX09 cape, which now uses this same material he's used for the NECA quarter scale. I hope that helped, and I'll see you guys next time.